had the luck or opportunity to have the time, to have absolutely no other obligation to think about what the universe is. And then I saw a universal truth, which a lot of people don't see, and not seeing it has become a part of survival in this world that's ruled by money. People have a really hard time with the conceptualization of the reality of heaven on earth. That you take away the fantasy thing. It's sort of like deconstructing. You imagine what heaven on earth would be. Freedom, everyone's really smart, no one locks doors, no one bothers trying to lie because everyone can tell a lie, because
we don't have to lie,
well,
because we're feeling safe now.
Well, by the nature of what we are, we shine with everything that we are. And the more humble we are, the more we see the shine. And so ultimately, you don't want a bunch of humble people in the room when you're trying to lie, because it's really, really obvious that you're lying. And so
but they may not shame you for it.
No. Understanding that there is no evil, that it's only children practicing their power, and it's just that in this case the children practicing their power have practiced it for thousands of years, pretending to be grown up, and taken a practice of complete psychotic behavior in the maintaining of what they would call a civilization, what is in fact a great tool or stumbling block or block from the potential of food grows on trees, we are of the earth, you don't own anything. The highest practicality and efficiency of learning and technology without concern for having to strive every night to pay for your sleep.
Okay, that kind of brings us to where we are. I have a question for you.
Okay, please.
Is there a way to sum up universal truth? And then how do you know it's true?
It's sort of you can say it and trust in its ability to be evident. 'Cause it's like, how can you prove that the is? Like, the is. And that means anyone saying that something that isn't is lying. And so that brings the sort of the duality. Like, the duality is based off the singularity of the is. And then anyone saying otherwise, I digress, my thoughts jump ahead a few steps sometimes.
Okay. So, quick, just how do you know you're not crazy?
Because the universe is actually ruled by a parameter of fate.
How do you know that?
It's evident. The wind blows. And all the stuff that it's blowing is not falling in a random thing. It's falling in exactly where its fated position is to fall.
And your fated position is potentially to fall onto the ground pretty soon. You've been how many days without food?
30 days now.
30 days without food. I thought it was 32.
Well, the first 2 weeks was an unofficial fast, so I was having sugar and milk in my coffee, and I had a cheat halfway through with pasta and hamburger, and I broke the fast the day before sentencing, which was a quaint little sort of meal.
Yeah.
But then the fasting started in genuine on the morning of the 15th.
Okay.
And so for the unofficial fast, I say minus 3 days.
Okay.
And so I'm just saying 30 days now.
Fair enough. And so it is fated that you're here potentially going to starve to death. That is your destiny?
If that is my destiny, that's my destiny. I can't predict perfectly. I just know this ego can't be sane under certain circumstances, and that I would rather be dead than insane.
Okay. Do you consider that most people around you and in the world to be insane?
Yes. A little bit. Naively so, of course. Like, no one chose to be who they are in their position, to be born in this world of craziness.
So you would die before you would be insane, but others are insane already.
That's sort of the curse of the truth. If people came to see it with the clarity that I do, then they as well would see the wisdom of rather being dead than content with that.
Content with...
Hell, essentially.
And so do you imagine that everyone else is living in hell?
A little bit. That's sort of what's going on. Caught in this trap where you have to pay for freedom. Where all the food comes from factories, and everyone sees it. Everyone sees it. Everyone's crying for a way out. And then, yeah. There are those prepared to go more psychotic than others.
Mm-hmm. But how do... it's my understanding that you don't believe that human beings have choice.
No, and that's a blessing, because you know that all of these people doing all these horrible things aren't evil, that they're doing the only thing that they know.
So how can we hope for anything different, or be anything different?
By seeing what it's like to live a life not being able to hate anymore.
Hello? Hello?
It brings a great confidence.
Yeah.
And then that confidence saves the world.
Okay, I'm busy, I'm
That
filming.
When you know that all those horrible people doing the horrible things are doing the only thing they know, then you can't hate or resent them. You can
Excuse me?
feel sad for them because they're just crazy. They're not evil, and so we don't have to waste time pretending that we get to be angry at people.
So do you think, I imagine everybody experiences a different reality. Do you imagine that?
Every ego sees through its own eyes and learns its experiences as they come for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so, for someone, say your kids, if you were to have some. So say your kids are looking for their dad and aren't able to spend time with him, and are seeing that he's choosing death over being in their world physically. And to them, they might have this same perception of you, I wonder, of okay, well, it's not his fault, he doesn't choose to be crazy, he can't help but think that he needs to die. Then maybe they'll find that same understanding as like the way.
Maybe, and maybe they could find peace in that for a moment. But if perchance they wouldn't get to see me again, then they would analyze me enough to know my great love for them and to know that this is more than some crazy fanatical guy doing this thing to avoid real world things. That I would trust any children I have will be like any other children, go through their traumas, be smart, be their own persons, and hopefully